Good morning, students. This is Arindam Bag here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, our topic is Henry Louis Vivian Derozio, a very well-known name in India, especially in Kolkata. And why he is very known in Kolkata? Because he was in Kolkata. So Henry Louis Vivian Derozio, in short, we'll be saying Derozio. He was born in the year 1809, 18th April. He passed away on December 26th, 1831. He was an Anglo-Indian poet and assistant headmaster of Hindu College, Kolkata. He was a radical thinker of his time and one of the first Indian educators to disseminate Western learning and science among the young men of Bengal. So some people says that he is one of those person who was responsible for Bengal Renaissance. So what is the idea behind Bengal Renaissance? Bengal Renaissance actually leads the intellectual and scientific temper of the Bengali society. Previously, it is a well-known fact that Indian society or the people of India, we are having different languages, different religion, and different beliefs and superstitions. Yeah, we actually followed those things as a part of our life. But not all those things were great. Some of them were really barbaric. Some of them were really not up to that, and which is full of superstitions. So there was a time when the people of Bengal, the literate people of Bengal, or the influential people in Bengal at that time, they contributed to the society, and they helped the society to think in a different way through the Western educational system, and especially using science to understand the facts and figures, and to understand the society in a better way. Right now in India, we are having a pandemic situation. Right now, we can say that only the people with scientific temper, they will be able to survive. I mean, that doesn't mean that the people who do not believe in science will not survive, but it is good to opt for scientific temper. Otherwise, if we believe in superstition, and if we try to challenge the virus, then definitely we are in threat. So who are helping us in this moment? The COVID warriors. COVID warriors means this is a short term actually, which includes so many people, such as doctors, such as nurses, such as paramedical staff, such as the people who are cleaning staff, law and order related staff, security forces, and many other people who are providing help to the needful person. They are all COVID warriors, including the people who are supplying oxygens and medicines also. So how they are helping us? They are helping us to fight this pandemic in a scientific fashion. They are creating awareness among our people. So does the same thing, not about the pandemic, but there was a time when the entire society was completely submerged in superstition and other beliefs, radical religious beliefs. So Henry Louis Vivian Derozio, he launched radical thinking by the use of Western learning and science among the young men of Bengal. See, long after his death, he was died in cholera. He still is loved, and he is very popular among. He was popular among his former students, who came to be known as Young Bengals, and who became prominent in social reform, law, and journalism. So these are the areas which was it was like a small movement first of all, but later on the movement was so big, and people participated in and tried to understand, yes, this is good, and they realized that this should be the way of life, and there should be reforms in terms of social justice or the social practice. There should be reform in laws. There should be reform in journalism also. So let us try to figure out who are the young Bengals and how these people were influenced by Henry Louis Vivian Derozio. So it's a group of Bengali people who were free thinkers. They were emerging from Hindu college, and he was the firebrand actually, Derozio. The people who were actually attached with Henry Louis Vivian Derozio, the name of them are like some names we are having here: Lal Bihari Dev, then Brojendranath Sheel. So these are the names we can find over here. And a number of Derosians were attacked to the Brahmo Samaj movements much later in life. They had lost their youthful fire and excitement, as one scholar um, find it out. So young Bengal followed classical economics and was composed free traders who took inspiration from Jeremy Bentham, Adam Smith, David Ricardo, and people like them. So there we have this Bengal Renaissance also. We will go through that also. What is Bengal Renaissance? A society cannot be developed until it has a tendency to reform itself. The same thing was it was like a movement which was initiated by Derozio, and the reform movement started, which is known as Bengal Renaissance. It was a cultural, social, intellectual, and artistic movement that took place in the Bengal region of the British Raj from the late 18th century and to the early 20th century. And they historians traced it back. They said no, it is not like that. The Bengal Renaissance starts with Vivian Derozio. There was some elements also who were responsible, or the persons who were responsible for this kind of Renaissance. And as well-known works of reformer Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who is also considered as the father of the Bengal Renaissance, who fight against the society to abolish Sati Daha Pratha. Then we have Nitish Sen-Gupta stated that the movement can be said to have ended with Rabindranath Tagore, Asia's first Nobel laureate. So there are so many people within this bracket. That means the starting point from Raja Ram Mohan Roy till Rabindranath Tagore. There are a lot of people involved in it. Okay, so we are going back to Derozio. We will try to understand his biography first. Louis Vivian Derozio was born at Entally, Padmapukuri in Kolkata. So that's why he's been considered as Anglo-Indian. So and his parents were Francis Derozio, who was a Christian Indo-Portuguese office worker, and Sophia Johnson Derozio, an Englishwoman. So his father was a Portuguese and his mother was an English. So for us, all these people are white peoples, but there is some difference. They belongs to a different nationality. His father was from Portugal and his mother was from England. And his original family name was D. Rosario. So Derozio attended David Drummond Dharmatala Academy. So there was a school in the name of this, and from the age of 6 to 14. Later he approached its liberal approach to education, particularly its unusual choice to teach Indian, Eurasian, and European children from different social classes together as peers. Derozio latter religious skepticism is sometimes attributed to David Drummond, who was also known as a free thinker. The teacher was free thinker there. That's why Derozio was also found to be a free thinker. Free thinker is those persons who accepts all sorts of suggestions, all sort of options available in the society, which can create a better atmosphere within the society, which can actually develop our life also. So Derozio was a successful student, and Derozio's academic excellence and successful performance in student plays, everything has been noted. Even in the notices in the Indian Gazette and the Calcutta Journal at the time mentioned Derozio's academic excellence. At the age of 14, Derozio left school to work. He initially joined his father's office at Kolkata, and then shifted to his uncle's indigo factory in Bhagalpur. Indigo means Neil Chas. So there was a factory. So he joined that one, and he was inspired by the beauty of River Ganges, and he started writing poetry, and later on he submitted it to the Indian Gazette also. His poetic career began to flourish with multiple newspapers in 1825. In 1827, when Derozio was 18, the editor John Grant took notice of his poetry and offered him to publish a book and invite him to return to Kolkata, and soon become assistant editor for Grant. So this was the earliest part. Now he moved to Kolkata. At age 17, he was appointed as the English teacher of English literature in the new Hindu college. And Derozio's intense zeal for teaching and his interaction with the students created a sensation at Hindu College. What is Hindu College? Right now it is Presidency University, Kolkata. So now you are getting it now. So it was formerly known as Hindu College, Now it is known as Presidency University of Presidency College. So the Hindu society of Bengal was undergoing considerable turmoil at that time. In 1828, Raja Ram Mohan Rai established the Brahmo Samaj. Uh, Hindu people, the Hindu people who believe in Hindu religion, they didn't like it very much. Some people were very fond of it, and some people were considering Raja Ram Mohan Rai as a threat to their society, as a threat to their religion. Every religion has this problem. No matter whatever religion you may take from the world history, whenever person who appears to be scientific, who has a scientific temperament, and who try to judge religious beliefs in scientific measures, people around him will consider him as a threat to the religion, and they will say, no, you are not following the religion, you are disgracing our religion, and they will pounce on him. So does Raja Ram Mohan Rai also faced the same challenge. So what happens there was a backlash within Orthodox Hindu society. They do not like the very idea of Brahmo Samaj. They do not like the idea of Raja Ram Mohan Rai. No wonder they will not like Desrosiers also. Desrosiers helped discuss the ideas for social change already in their year. Despite his youth, he is considered a great scholar and thinker. He has a very short life. If you check his biography, then you will see 1809 to 1831. That means how much, if you do the maths, you will realize how young he was when he passed away. Only 21, I guess. If my maths is not good, but still I guess he was only 21, 22 years, I guess. Yes, 22 years. He was only 22 years when he passed away. So there was a lot of people was young students were attracted towards him, and that's why there was a backlash also from the Hindu society. Young people, they like the idea of Desrosiers. They were very much attracted towards him. But on the other hand, the Orthodox Hindu society, they were not very fond of him. So he was a great scholar and thinker also. He lived he had a very short life, and within this short life, he drew a lot of intelligent boys in his college. They were attracted towards him. He constantly encouraged them to think freely and question everything. He trained those students to question everything and not to believe whatever is happening around them blindly. His teaching inspired the development of the spirit of liberty, equality, and freedom also. So the very concept which we are having, any republic, any democratic country follows this idea, spirit of liberty, equality, and freedom. This is a very common concept which we can find back in France also. The idea of liberty, equality, and fraternity, the call of Rousseau. They also tried to remove social evils, improve condition of women and peasants, promote liberty through freedom of the press. This was going on. There was a reformation. So that's why it is quite obvious that this kind of place, these things, whatever the things we have mentioned over there, these things also need to be reformed time to time. Otherwise, if you have a garden and if you do not maintain those things, if you do not maintain that garden, if you do not clear the weeds from those gardens, the garden will eventually be a jungle. It will lose its beauty. The society is also like a garden where very many malpractices grows up, many things which we can consider as weed grows there, and it need to be reformed time to time. Otherwise, the society will not will turn to be a very hostile place to live. So here also we can see his activities brought about the intellectual revolution in Bengal, and that's why his followers were known as Young Bengal. And there were many patriots also. Due to backlash from conservative parents who disliked his wide-ranging and open discussion of religious issues, Desrosiers was dismissed from his post. There was a public reaction on this, that your professor is not respecting our religion and he is trying to convert or is playing with the ideas of Hindu spirit. That's why he was removed from his post shortly before his death in April 1831. In 1838, after his death, members of the Young Bengal movement established a second society called the Society of the Acquisition of General Knowledge. Its main objective was to acquire and disseminate knowledge about the condition of the country. Desrosiers died of cholera at the age of 22. His body was buried in South Park Street Cemetery. Writings, you can see some publications over here. The Harp of India, which has been included in our syllabus. I'll be dealing with that one in my next presentation, hopefully tomorrow. Then Song of Hindustani Minstrel, the Fakir of Jahangir, metrical tale of other poems. It was published in the year 1828. Fakir of Jahangir to India, my native land. The poetical works of Henry Louis Vivian Derozio. It was published in the year 1907 posthumously to the pupils of the Hindu College. So he was very influential at that time, and that's why he was very popular also. So that will be one of the prominent students he had was Tarachand Chakraborty, who became the leader of Brahmo Samaj. So there are other names also. Krishna Mohan Banerjee, Lal Bihari, they were converted to Christianity. Samiran Roy. That's why people were actually they were unhappy with Derozio, because he were converting upper caste Hindu boys. So some of the Hindu society do not accept these things widely, or rather openly. Rather, when they found their boys has been converted to Christianity, they were like furious. So that's all about Henry Louis Vivian Derozio. There was a commemorative postage stamp you can see on the right hand side, which has been given over here. You can see this one. It was issued on December 15, 2009. So that will be all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe my channel and help my channel to grow. Thank you again.